Right. And Blake, how do we know if we did have emerald EAB?
Well, number one is knowing what kind of tree you have. Been on many properties where people have convinced that they have the EAB there, but it turns out they don't even have an ash tree. So number one, find out if that is an ash tree. If it's not, you're not going to have the problem. If you do, and you starting to see some serious decline in the tree, usually some dieback from the top, that's the first signs of that, where there's that death coming down from the top of there. And usually right below the death, there's lots of new sprouts growing up. The tree tries to fight off, tries to put out new growth. So you'll see clusters of new growth right underneath the dead there.
And you know, again, it'd be nice to have Blake to come out and take a look at that tree. He does handle Schaumburg, so you know that would be helpful, and he's a resource that you know, the residents can draw upon. And I know the Park District has also, you know, asked us to take a look at stuff, you know, from time to time. So you know, people should use that resource, and that's what we're here to do, is to provide them not only with, you know, treatment protocols if it's right to do it, but it may also involve, if the tree is not in good health, you know, consulting that property owner that tree might need to come down and you know, diversify their landscape. So instead of having, let's say they have 5 or 6 ash trees on a property, maybe they start to move that more towards the different types of trees. And that's some of the same advice you know, we give the village as well. Is across the state, about 30% are ash trees, and that goes from forested areas and non-forested areas. Wow. So it's important now to move us towards diversity within not only the forest, but the urban forest and even our own yard. So, you know, we like certain things. We like certain things about trees, and ash was the replacement for Dutch elm disease. And what's interesting about Dutch elm disease, we repeated that mistake twice. The first infestation happened in the early 1900s. We got Dutch elm disease to move through a similar process of a foreign pest coming in, basically a fungus. They all died. What did we replace them with? Another set of ash trees, or another set of elm trees. Oh, really? So we repeated again. You know, now the replacement for elms in the mid-70s, which was the second wave, are ash trees. So now these ash were the ones that were planted in the mid-70s, the early 80s. It's now time to stop. You know, there's people in the industry, let's stop the bleeding. You know, let's get us back to a normal composition. So, you know, our aim would be, you know, industry-wide and community-wide would be to, let's diversify this thing. Let's plant some trees back in. They're going to diversify everything, and Davey Tree can help plant those trees for people as well. So it's important to do
plant those trees, and I would imagine you have a lot of different variety of trees to select from.
Absolutely, and the palette is wide and broad, and Northern Illinois has got a lot of great plants. It just, we don't use them all, and it's a matter of, you know, having Blake come out. And
have we overplanted maples as well?
Yeah, that's another big composition.
Anything else? You're like biting your lips there, and there's probably a few others, right?
No, those are the two biggies. Those are the two big ones that come to mind. It would be maple and ash.
Is there anything out there at this point threatening the maples as well?
Well, not currently, but you know, prior to that, yeah, we heard about Asian longhorn beetle for a long time, and that was in the late 90s when that came here, and that was a real threat to all maple trees. And that guy, if we wouldn't have eradicated it, really could have gotten a foothold on that particular species as well. That was another favorite host. And the problem with Asian longhorn was it affected other types of trees as well besides maple. So. That could have really been devastating. But we were, again, through the right protocols, the government, you know, helped, you know, along with partners like us. Davey Tree was a big part of it. We helped put in treatment protocols to control that thing, and we're successful at eradicating. Now, it could come back if it comes over on packing crates from China, just like the movement of the firewood. We could have that same scenario, and then all of a sudden, we've got Asian longhorn beetle again. So that it's, even though the threat is suppressed and it's technically eradicated, it could come back next week and not really know it. So.
How can our viewers get a hold of you?
Okay, well, there's many ways we can. First of all, you can visit us on our website, www.davey.com, or even call our local office here at 847-426-8889.
And if they call the local office, they'll get in touch with you, right, Blake?
Yep.
Great.
Most certainly.
Great. And Davey Tree has been around for a long time.
Yep. Been around for 130 years now.
Wow.
It's the 1800s.
You guys are pretty old then.
Yeah,
You're looking pretty good.
Yeah, well, we preach that plant health on ourselves.
There you go.
No, there's a lot of experience in the company.
Yeah.
Terrific. And I know you guys do a great job with all the Park District work that you've done, and we appreciate the sponsorships and the opportunity to work closely with you. So, so thank you very much. And I encourage everybody to take a look outside their backyard, see what kind of health their trees are in, just in general, as Brian has suggested, and certainly check out and see if you have any ash trees, and make sure that they're in good health too, and give Davey Tree a call.